Welcome back, ASM family, to episode 2 of We Are the Church. We have a special episode for you, so I hope that you stay tuned and watch.
No Warriors with weapons unseen. Your enemies crash to their knees as we rise up in worship. When trials unleash like a flood, the battle belongs to our God as we cry out in worship. The victory is yours, you're riding on the storm. Your name is unfailing. The kingdoms rise and fall, your throne stands in awe. Your name is unshaken. What hell meant to break me has failed. Now nothing will silence my praise. We'll cry out and worship. The walls of the prison will shake. The chain-breaking King will rise to save as we cry out and worship. Oh, oh, the victory is yours. You're riding on the storm. Your name is unfailing. The kingdoms rise and fall. Your throne stands in awe. Your name is unshaken. You roar like thunder, nothing can tame God. Oh, powerful, oh, powerful. We pull down heaven with shouts of praise to God. Oh, powerful, oh, powerful. You roar like thunder, nothing can tame God. Oh, powerful. We pull down heaven with shouts of praise to God. Oh, powerful, oh, powerful. The victory is yours. You're riding on the storm. Your name is unfailing. The kingdoms rise and fall. Your throne will stand in awe. Your name is unshaken.
Hey ASM family, welcome to episode 2 of We Are the Church. So in this episode we are going to be talking about the hope of the church. As we all know, there's a virus going around and it has taken the focus of a lot of people. It has canceled a lot of things, like football has been canceled, basketball has been canceled, big crowds have been canceled. And for a lot of people, fear and confusion and questions have been placed on them, and for many people, their faith has been tested, and for some, their hope has been lost. So today, I have 2 questions for you that I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to go ahead and write these 2 questions down. And the first one is, where is your focus? So in Matthew 8:23 through 27, Jesus and his disciples, they get in this boat. And while they're in this boat, there's a storm. And the disciples, they're fearful and they're scared. But on the other hand, Jesus, he's asleep. And I want you to remember that because we're going to come back to that. So, where is your focus? Is it on the storm, or is it on Netflix or video games, or is it on social media? Or is your focus on Jesus? And for the disciples, their focus, it was on the storm. They were so focused on what was going around, what was happening around them, that they forgot that Jesus was right there in the boat with them. So while they're in this boat and they're freaking out, they go up to Jesus and they wake him up. And Jesus says to them, "Why are you afraid? Do you not have faith?" And for the disciples, their focus, it was taken off of Jesus, and they forgot that he was right there with him and that he was in control. So I encourage you today to take your focus off of Netflix, or to take it off of video games, or take it off of anything that is not on Jesus and put it on him, because in him you will find that hope. So my second question for you today is, how can we have hope in the midst of a storm? This virus, it's a lot like a storm, and for many of us, just like the disciples, we're facing some scary stuff, some shaky things. And we're hopeless and we're fearful, but the thing that we need to remember is that God is not surprised by this storm. He understands that schools are closed, and he knows that we can't get together with our friends and have an enjoyable time. But for Jesus, he wasn't scared, because he knew that God was in control, because his hope was placed on God and it wasn't placed on whatever is going on around him. And I want to encourage you today to remind yourself that God is in control. He has this situation. So I just want to give you some encouragement and have yourself ask a few questions to yourself and some challenges for you. To put your focus on Jesus. And how we do that is by getting into prayer and opening up our Bibles and reading about who God is, finding out the hope that we have in him. And for those of you who don't have a Bible right now, I encourage you to get on your phone. We have the ability now in the world that we live in, the technology that we have, to download the Bible app, to research the Bible. So I encourage you to open up your Bible, to dig deep into who God is and the hope that he gives us, and to know that he is in control. And my second one is to trust in God. Sometimes in situations like these, we get so focused on, what's happening around us. We get so focused on the virus that sometimes it becomes hard to trust in God. And I encourage you to remind yourself that he's not surprised, that he is in control. So today I encourage you to trust in him, trust in the Lord, because he cares for you.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of We Are the Church. Be sure to hit that like button, and we will see you next week.